Hello, everyone. Welcome to Outside Food and Drink. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today, 2009's
A Perfect Getaway.
Perfect Getaway, directed by David Twohy. Generally, honestly, he's just not my bag, the type of stuff he usually does. But I do like this movie a lot. Starring Steve Zahn, Timothy Elephant, Milla Jovovich, and Kelly Sanchez, Marley Shelton, and Chris Hemsworth. Okay. We talked about how the movie last week was a mess and it was not cohesive and it was not clever. We bounce right back from it here. But we have a very clever, cohesive movie. It's interesting. This movie relies heavily on a twist at the end.
Yes.
And so you would think a lot of times movies that rely heavily on a twist, they don't hit the same when you rewatch them. But I think this one still works because then you kind of start, you're seeing it from a different angle.
Yes.
But, we start out with we're watching this video of a wedding. Sydney, which is Milla Jovovich, and Cliff, which is Steve Zahn. They're in a Jeep on a road, believes to be Hawaii. Presumably it's their wedding video, right? They just got married. They're on their honeymoon. All right. They see a trail. They get in a helicopter and they're flying over the island. They see a trail. Like, we want to go on that trail, and that's going to be our setup.
Yes, and the helicopter pilot tells them there's only two ways.
Yeah.
Either walk in or you raft in.
Yes, and it's when they go to this little hut and they start to set up the trip, and they're like, we only need 3 days. They're like, 3 days. I mean, you go in, that's a day in, a day there, a day out. You'll want more.
Yes.
And he's like, no, we'll be okay with 3 days. We need 3 days. So, okay. First thing you know, okay, they're dropping little hints here. This first thing you know is Cliff seems kind of vigilant, very hyper vigilant at this hut.
Yes.
He's like, every time a car pulls up, he's like, casing, like, who's that? What are they doing? Like, eyeballing everybody, taking note of everything. They get back in their Jeep. They get it all set up. They get back in their Jeep. They roll out, and they roll. There's a newspaper on the ground that their tire had been on, and it's about a couple that was murdered in Honolulu, right?
Yes.
So we're like, is this relevant to our movie? I'll bet it is. I bet you that's why they showed us. So they're heading out. I guess they have to drive out to the trailhead, and then they get there, and then they got to hike out. And it's, I think, it's another 11
I think it's
miles.
like a 10-mile hike.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this filthy hippie hitchhiker couple. Cale and Cleo. This is Hemsworth and Marley Shelton, right? And, you know, Sydney's like, yeah, come on in. And Cliff's like, what the fuck? No. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious that they're, like, making excuses like, oh, you know what? Maybe we're not actually going as far as you want to go, so maybe you should just wait for another car.
Yeah.
And Cleo does a lot of work here. Like, this is me and Cale on our honeymoon, or this is me and Cale, you know.
When we got married.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and then so Sydney's like, oh, okay, come on, you know, come on in. And then Mikhail's like, no. He hasn't gotten in the car. He's like, no. I do want to note that Cale has this, like, tattoo that says, do not revive.
yes.
What does that mean? I mean, I get you meant do not resuscitate, because do not revive could be.
I don't know. I mean, maybe back in those days, that's what it meant.
Back in those days.
It was 20 years ago.
It was 17 years ago. What do you think was happening back then? We had the internet and cell phones. What are you talking about?
Stop.
Back in the day.
Okay.
I mean, we're not talking about, like, 1950.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
Okay.
you know, I mean, a lot of people would be like, don't revive me, so.
Okay, but revive and resuscitate are two different things.
I don't know what's going on with the tattoo.
Okay, anyway. All right. Anyway, Cale is a testing man. See, he's like, I don't want your fucking ride.
Yep.
Fine. Actually, that's better for everybody. They get to the hiking portion of our trip. And this is, they get this terrible, it's this path, but it's against the side of the mountain. So, if you look down to your right, it's this, 100-foot drop into the rocks. And here comes Nick, played by Timothy Olyphant, Nico, right? Timothy Olyphant.
Yep.
He's just dooba like walking like it's nothing, and he just traipses right by them. He's like, you gotta just don't look, keep walking and don't look down, right? And and Cliff's like, yeah, that's cool for you because you don't have
a pack on your back.
A pack on your back, and he's like, come on, so that Cliff makes it across, and Sydney is not. She doesn't do so well. She, in fact, actually, there's this little gap in the path, and as she's crossing it, a helicopter pops up, and she loses her footing, but it's okay because Nico's there, and he saves her.
Yeah, that was so funny. Like, just out of nowhere, the helicopter, just the right time.
I mean, helicopters are not quiet. It's not like they can sneak up on you.
I know. Like, you should have heard that coming.
Yeah. So they start making some small talk. We find out here that Cliff is a screenwriter, and Nico's talking about a screenwriting course that he had taken. He keeps talking about a red snapper.
Yeah.
And he's like, when you think a thing is the... Okay, this movie's pretty clever, because they're doing a lot of lamp shading, and this is the first of it. He's like, when you think something's happening, or the one person is the person, and then it ends up being something else.
Yeah.
And they just put it there to distract you. And he's like, it's a red snapper. And Cliff's like, no, it's a red herring. He's like, no, I think it's a snapper.
Like, okay, dude, whatever you want to think.
Yeah. But so we're hearing about Cliff's sad story, which is he had a screenplay and it's in pre-production and they're doing a punch-up on it. Supposedly it's a 2-week punch-up and they're in week 9 of the 2-week punch-up. And Nico was like, that doesn't sound right. He's like, what you need? Okay, here's another one. We're dropping all this stuff. It's actually, when you look back, like when you go through your second viewing of it, or third or fourth, whatever this is for me, you start picking up.
Yeah.
After you see it the first time, and you go back and watch it again, you pick up on all the hints they left. And right here, so Nico goes, well, you know what you need. And Cliff's like, another agent, new agent. And Nico's like, no, a new story. Right? Like, okay. All right. So, they meet the girls. All right. We get to meet, Cliff wants to get away from Nico, right? Because he just kind of wants this, he wants to be with, we're not sure what's going on, like him and Sydney, because they seem a little off, but Nico seems a little off too, and Kale and Cleo are really off.
Yeah,
and he was trying to break off from Nico, but then he looks down and he sees that Kale and Cleo on the beach. They basically have caught up to them, and he's like, I do not want to be in a situation where I'm alone.
Yeah,
and Kale and Cleo around. So he goes ahead and follows Nico. And he follows Nico back to this grotto, this beautiful grotto.
It's so pretty there.
It's beautiful. And Gina, who is Nico's girlfriend, she is naked on this raft, just floating in this grotto, and everything is beautiful, and everybody is happy.
And it's so funny because Cliff and Sydney are acting like this is not okay to see a naked woman.
But then Sydney takes her clothes off.
Yeah.
Nico does not, or not. Cliff does not.
No.
Sydney takes her clothes off. Mm-hmm. And she gets on into the water, and it was so funny because Nico, okay, so Gina, you're just lounging around naked. You're fine. And then Nico kind of, when Sydney takes her clothes off, Nico's kind of like, and Gina's like, no. Sir. You're looking that way.
Yeah, turns his head. Yeah.
So, okay. So, but they were talking about how Gina's talking, they're Southern couple. I guess, where are they from? South Carolina? Is that where it is? Georgia. They're definitely from Georgia. And they're talking about how Nico always likes to bring home strays. And we find out here that Gina wants to get married. And Nico has not done anything about this situation.
He's not asked yet.
He's not asked. And Cliff is not having taken any part in this. Cliff is off wandering the woods trying to get a signal on his phone, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. He Googles on his phone. So it's not a smartphone. This is a flip phone. And I had flashbacks to the days of trying to use the internet on flip phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
These old phones. And I was like, oh, this is terrible. This is not a smartphone. So he's got Google up, and he's like, he sees the news about this couple that they suspect of murdering this other couple, and they suspect that they have jumped islands and are now could be on the island that they're on, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, awesome. There's a murderous couple, and we've run into two weird-ass couples. So
could be anybody.
Could be anybody. So Nico gets out of the water. Back at the grotto, Nico is getting out of the water, and he spots these the bags and clothing of Kale and Cleo. And we know it's Kale and Cleo's because it says Kale and Cleo on the canvas bag. It looks like it was written by an 8-year-old.
Yeah, it says Kale and Cleo forever.
Oh my God. And in the meantime, so Nico sees this, and then Cliff, who is still trying to, Google with 2 bars on his little BlackBerry or whatever the fuck it is. All right, he looks up, and there's Kale and Cleo. They're just chilling by the water, and Kale is being. Why are we being confrontational?
Yes.
I mean, Cliff's like, look, dude, I tried to give you a ride, you didn't want it. Let it go.
Yeah.
Like, end of the story. Doesn't matter. Nico swoops in, And as soon as they realize that he's not alone, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I mean, Cleo's probably not going to do much, but Kale is not a small dude.
No.
I mean, he's almost bigger than the other 2 put together.
Yeah.
He could have done some damage.
He could have.
I mean, I think he saw some danger there, though. Nico carries himself
very
confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. They get back to camp. So on this trail you have to have permits to get past a certain point. They thought they had their permits, but when they get back to camp, Cliff realizes that he does not have his permits. Because he was lording it over Kale and Cleo, like, you're not going to get any further without your permits. And Kale just kind of smiles. I'm like, does this look like a person that gives a shit about permits?
Yeah. He does not care.
He does not care. But when Nico and Cliff get back to camp, there's no permits. There's something. Ernesto, the parole officer. We get a clip of who's Ernesto, the parole officer. Why do we have Ernesto's business card?
Yeah.
What's going on? Walking along, talking about screenplays, talking about Nick Cage and Johnny Depp. Nico is trying to sell, my life would make a good movie. He's got this story about his platoon or whatever was the first in Iraq, and there was in the presidential palace, I guess, there was a golden box next to the toilet, and it was a bunch of Marvel comics. It was the strangest story I've ever heard.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't understand. Anyway. And Cliff asks him, like, what are you, like, Ranger, SEALs, whatever? And he's like, I'm an American Jedi. I'm like, you're a what?
A Jedi.
Okay, sir, that's the Rebel Alliance.
He says it's classified.
Classified. That's why you're telling everybody about it. Anyway, we find out here. Yeah, we're gonna have to know this for later. I guess he stepped on a bouncing Betty out there in the desert, and he blew off the back of his head. And
yeah, he's got plates in it now, and he can get through any metal detector.
Did you know that there are no nerve endings in the brain, which is why he was walking around with a hole in his head, and everybody's like, dude, you gotta lay down. He's like, I'm fine. They're like, no, you got a hole in your head. Anyway. Okay. Yes, so he did make a funny joke here, because he's talking about this titanium plate. He's got his head, so, it gets him obviously he's got like, I got a titanium plate in my head, I can't go through the metal, or I can go through the metal detector, but it's going to set it off. So they just kind of wave him through. I don't believe this for a second, but he says, this is how I can travel with Gilligan. And he's like, Cliff's like, Gilligan? And he pulls up, Nico pulls up his pants. There's this knife there, this little knife there. And he's like, yeah, my little buddy. I'm like, very funny line. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, so.
Just because they let you through doesn't mean they don't search you.
They're still going to search you. Yeah. Okay, they're going to do the wand on you, and they're going to say, the titanium plate in your head is not triggering down here. So what's this?
Yes.
Unless you strap the knife to the back of your, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit, right? And Cliff will later say, yes, his stories are bullshit. And this is at least one clue that his stories are bullshit.
Yeah.
And I guess he says, like, what do you say? Next thing you know, he's going to be saying he got a baboon heart or something.
Yeah.
Because it all sounds like a movie, Yeah. So they're following, so Sydney and Cliff are still following Gina and Nico, and they're going across this river. There's like a log or a fallen tree across this river. They're they have to follow it, and they're like, wait a minute, Sydney's like, wait a minute, I gotta go to the bathroom. So they stay on the opposite side of the river, and they're looking at this on the little Google that the police have released a picture from a surveillance camera of the couple that had done the murder, and they're like, but you can't really see anything. And they're like, well, that could be them. That could be anybody.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
Yeah. Sydney's like, it could be anybody. You can't tell.
Right. So they're like, okay, all right, but we're going to be careful. So Sydney does know a lot about Gina because he says, when she says it could be anybody, Cliff is like, I mean, it could be, but you don't know anything about these people. Right?
Yeah.
We just know that he's telling a bunch of bullshit stories. And she's like, I do know. And she rattles off all this shit she learned about Gina.
Yeah. She's like, girls talk.
Girls talk. Yeah. And Gina and Nico are talking too. Like, what do you think they're talking about over there? And he's like, well, maybe, he had to go to the bathroom, it's not a big deal. And Gina's like, he is the first man in the history of the world that wants to talk to somebody while he's in the bathroom. Nobody wants to talk to anybody. It's not a man thing. Nobody wants to talk. I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm in the bathroom either. On the toilet, doing things.
Yeah.
You know what I hate when I'm in the bathroom, like in public, like at work? Mm-hmm. I'm in the bathroom and people come in and start talking. I'm like, there's other places to do that.
Yeah.
Some of us are busy.
It's like you're in there and you were trying to pee and two people walk in and they're talking and you hear like two more stall doors close and they're sitting there peeing and they're talking and you're like, really? Why are you still talking? Just shut up so we can pee and get out. Yeah.
No, you know what's worse than that? That's terrible. What's worse than that is when they're done, you even hear them wash their hands and they still stand there talking. Get the fuck out. This is a bathroom, not a talk room. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's bad. I hate that. I'm always just like, why? Why did you have to bring it into the bathroom?
You know what I also hate about public bathrooms? It's the same thing I hate about public parking lots. Go into a public bathroom and you get into a stall and it's empty. You're the only one in there. And there's 7 stalls. And the next person that comes into the stall next to yours.
Yeah, why is that?
Why?
Always skip a stall in between people unless you just can't.
Yeah, unless you can't. Well, it's like when you park. Like sometimes, like you get into an empty parking lot and you park at the end.
Yep.
And you come out and it's still empty except for the other car has parked next to you.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, just leave some space. Sometimes people want to load their car by the back door.
Or, I just don't want to be parked next to anybody. How's that? Anyway. Okay. Sorry for the rant.
We got to blow off steam somehow.
Okay, they're going to set up camp for the night.
Yes.
Cliff
does not know how to do it.
Cliff doesn't know how to do anything. He's trying to stomp the tent stake into the ground. Good luck with that. And
I even know better than that.
Nico tosses this. It's a hatchet, but it's got the broad end that you can use as a hammer. And he tosses them, and Cliff catches it. They have an interesting exchange because he says good reflexes for a writer. I'm like, okay, there's nothing about being a writer that means you don't have good reflexes. But also, if you didn't think he had good reflexes, why'd you just throw an axe at him? That's an unhinged thing to do.
Trying to kill him.
Trying to kill him. All right, so there's something. Nick is standing there. At one point, they get camp set up, and everybody else is kind of at the tents, and Nick is just standing there at the edge and just kind of peering into the jungle, right?
Yep.
And you're like, is something's going on? Does he see something? And he's like, yeah, it's probably just a goat. Everybody else is like, well, not everybody else. Sydney and Cliff are like, a goat. We have not seen a single goat. What are you talking about? I did not know goats were rampant in Hawaii, but
Nope, I did not.
They are. Nico does give a great speech about situational awareness here. It talks about, what do you do when the first thing when you get on an airplane, right?
Yeah.
And, Cliff is like, I do what everybody else does. Like, I put my shit up and I find my seat. Like, what do you mean? What do you do when you get on an airplane? And so, Nico's got this big speech. Well, I know where the exits are, and I know how many paces, and I know, the door
opens inwards and not outwards, and all that.
Right. And he's like, okay, great. And he's like, if you wait for an emergency to happen before you know what to do, you're already dead. He apparently had been in claims that he had seen all this happen from the inside. When he was in a plane crash, there was a very famous plane crash in Iowa or something, 112 dead. But not him.
No,
not him.
He was probably the only survivor.
Only survivor. And Gina's like, yeah, he's really hard to kill. I'm like, is he?
Oh, I love how you did her accent.
I'm probably doing the same accent for both of them. It's not fair, but I don't know. Sometimes they were just going ham on this country bumpkin thing. It was really weird.
Country bumpkin.
Anyway, so they go hunting for dinner. Nico's gonna go hunting for dinner. This is respectable, right? And Cliff is like, no, hard pass. I'm not doing this. And Nico starts making little kitty noises at him. And you're like, well, Cliff won't buy the bait, but he does. He totally gets the bait.
Yeah.
And they start having to talk about these killers, right? And they're kind of like acknowledging, Nico's like acknowledging about, you're like, do you suspect me? Do you suspect us? Well, we suspect you or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nick's like, wouldn't it be a twist if we were the killers? I'm like, wouldn't that be a twist?
Wouldn't it?
A red snapper. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be a red snapper?
Yeah, the wimpiest couple. They're going to be the ones to be the killers.
No, it was Nick was saying that.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
Nick was saying, yeah. I mean...
Nick, you could totally take for a killer.
Yeah. Well, maybe. We'll talk about that, too. So, and then this is when Nick says, hey, look, we're not hunting. We're being shadowed.
Yes.
And he explains what he believes has happened. Meanwhile, Sydney and Gina are talking. They're back at camp. They're talking. This is insane. They're basically camped on the cliff.
Yes.
And it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
That is an invitation to slide right the fuck off into the ocean. That's all.
I just don't believe they can slide off into the ocean. It's not that bad.
It was pretty slippery.
I mean, it looks slippery, but...
You gotta get up and go to the pee in the middle of the night. You step wrong because you're tired, you gotta pee, and you lose your footing. Boop, off you go.
I guess.
I don't want to die like that. Jesus.
I wouldn't want to die like that either, and I don't think we have any plans to go to Hawaii and go hiking.
No.
You're not going up the side of a hill like that.
I'm certainly not camping there.
I mean, yeah, so I think we're good.
Okay.
I don't think that's how you're going to die.
Thank you for the assurance. Knocking on wood.
At least it's real wood.
Okay, but so they're in this dangerous camping spot, and they're telling stories about their lives, and Sydney's like, I don't understand. Okay, Sydney's talking about basically she wants her dream life. I did not understand her as saying this is my life right now. I understood her as saying this is the life I want.
Yeah.
Which is a house in the Palisades and 5 kids and all this stuff,
Yeah.
And Gina comes back with this town I grew up in. There's this preacher, and everybody thought that they had the perfect family until his wife found him behind the Waffle House with a hooker with a penis. She's like, my point is that If somebody tells me how great their life is, I immediately...
I don't believe them.
I don't believe them. I'm like, she wasn't saying her life was great. She was saying that was the life she wanted. So Nico and Cliff are still traipsing through the jungle. This is funny too, because Nico is doing this thing with like the SWAT team, like, fist, stop, okay, come on, stop, come on, stop, come on. And he like, what? I mean, he's like doing this, like walk 2 feet, stop, walk 2 feet, stop.
Yeah.
And he turns around, he smiles. He's fucking with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was cute.
It was funny, yeah. Okay. So Gina has like told Sydney, like, I want to know what your real poop is here. So Sydney has this backstory. Her parents had an abusive household. There's 5 kids. When her parents split up, it was going to be 2 kids going with each parent. And so she did the math, and she was going to be the odd one out, right? So she hooked up with this older guy named Rocky, and one night they were making out in his car, and it was getting heated, and as it's getting really heated, he's like, oh, he gets up and he gets out, and she thinks he's going to pee, but he calls her out. He's like, I want to show you something, and it's this Labrador, the neighbor's Labrador dog, that he had wrapped pantyhose around its neck and hung it from a tree.
Yeah.
And he told her, if you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And Gina's like, well, did you tell anybody? And she's like, you were the first person I told. Right?
Yep.
I'm like,
and then something falls behind him and scares
then,
the crap out of him.
A palm frond falls on the tent, and they're like, whoa!
He's back to get you, girl.
Meantime, in the woods, Cliff gets his own surprise, and he nearly chops up this guy from the store, the hut where they had arranged their trip.
Yep.
So this guy at the store had been kind of eyeballing them, and all of a sudden he shows up, and Cliff's about ready to kill him. He's like, dude, I have your permits. You left them at the store.
I've been following you for, the whole trip.
Yeah, oh my God. I came out, this is not the mainland. You have to have your permits, right? So Cliff's like, oh, okay, cool, I got my permits. He goes back to camp. No Nico. He doesn't have Nico with him anymore. Nico comes back to camp a few minutes later with a goat.
Wrapped around his shoulders like he is God.
Okay. Now, all right. Gina starts field dressing this fucking goat, right?
Oh my God.
Which is, okay, yes, I understand you have to do this. You're gonna eat it, so you're gonna have to. And they cut off this head. Is just she's gonna toss the head aside. But she starts talking about when she worked at the meat department at a Piggly Wiggly. I'm like, I'm sorry. I have worked in meat departments. This is very far beyond what you are needed to do at Piggly Wiggly. All this is done by the time it gets to the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, we just want to let you know Piggly Wiggly is a grocery store.
It does. It's a grocery store
in North Carolinas.
In Georgia, apparently. They're Piggly Wigglies, and yeah, I know I've worked in meat departments before. They don't just send you animal carcasses; they actually cut them. Yeah. They cut off the head and they skin it and all this. Like all that's done.
They're already ready.
They're already ready for you to make steaks and stuff out of. Oh. I mean, you gotta cut up the steaks and. This is no Piggly. The Piggly Wiggly has nothing to do with this. So this is another one. Like, wait a minute. No, you didn't learn this at Piggly Wiggly. What's happening here? Yeah. Right? So and Cliff and Sydney are like, these people are now at the top of the crazy list.
Very top.
Very top. What is wrong with them? The next morning, they are awoken by the sound of helicopters and things being shouted over a bullhorn. And they're like, the cops are flying by. They're like, everybody gather town to see everybody's faces. So you have to kind of like look and wave. And they say somebody is getting busted up the road or up on the cliff a little bit. Sure enough, they go up. They run up there. Sure enough, it's Kale and Cleo.
Yes, it is.
One of the details that they had shared about this couple that had killed these people on the mainland, or Honolulu, was they had taken the teeth out of the bodies.
Yes.
To prevent
them from being
quickly identified.
Yes.
And so we see the police busting Kale and Cleo, and they're going through Kale. And, Kale and Cleo are like, we didn't do anything. What are you doing? And as they're putting Kale into the helicopter, he sees one of the cops go into his bag and pull out this little mint container. He's like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck? And he opens the mint container. There's a bunch of teeth in there.
Yeah.
Looking bad for Kale and Cleo. Except that we still have like a half hour in the movie, so it can't
Yeah.
be that, right?
So what's going on?
And so they're walking back to camp, and this is where Gina and Sydney admit that they did have suspicions about each other.
Yes.
Sure, okay.
I mean, there's some killers out there, and you're with somebody you just met, and they're acting kind of weird. Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some thoughts about them.
Sure.
I have thoughts about you.
Thoughts about me?
I mean, you could be a killer.
I don't even like to, like, I don't even like, I'm,
You're more of the shoot and run person.
no, I don't even like to kill snakes. I mean, can we just let them free? We had mice, and I was like, can we just do the humanitarian thing, like where we trap them and like take them somewhere else and set them off free?
I just wanted them dead.
Yeah.
Hey, but the 4-foot snake, we
called a professional.
Yeah, because I'm not touching it either. 2 inches I can get rid of by myself. 4 foot? No.
No, it wasn't 4 feet. It was like 3 feet.
He said 3.5 to 4.
Okay, it looked more like 3 feet to me. Either way, I was not going to touch it. If they're 2 inches, I don't touch them. Anyway.
So they had, they of course, you're always careful when you meet somebody new.
Yeah.
And of course, you're on a trip and you've just heard about another couple being murdered. So of course, they're going to be worried about each other.
Yeah, of course. But all's well that ends well, or so we think. They go down to the beach, having a good time. They get Cliff talks Nick into going kayaking with him. Well, we see Cliff and Sydney kind of huddling, and we don't know what they're doing. But in a minute, Cliff gets Nick to go kayaking. There's some caves, not underwater caves.
Yeah. They're just regular caves.
They're just kind of holes in the side of the cliff that you can kind of...
you just kind of go through them. You can float through them, and they're total open up top and stuff.
And you can come back out, and you don't have to find air pockets or anything.
You don't have to worry about it collapsing and killing you. You can get away pretty quickly there.
Yeah. He tells Sydney to tell Gina as he's walking. He didn't want to go at first because he apparently had a date with Gina. They were supposed to go for a sunset walk. So he decides he gives in. He goes with Cliff, and he tells Sydney to tell Gina that he'll be back for the sunset walk. Anyway, they've had this camera, this little video camera that they were watching the wedding on. And they've been getting people to take their picture with it and stuff, or little short video clips. And they got Gina to do it earlier, when they're getting for the sunset, And here, Gina, as Nico's going out on this kayak, Gina picks up the camera, and the memory card's kind of popped out. And she's like, oh, you don't want to pop that out, I'll lose that. So she pops the memory card back in and starts playing this wedding footage. And now we start seeing more of the wedding footage. We see the bride and the groom, and it is not Sydney and Cliff.
Nope.
Well, it is Sydney and Cliff, but not our Sydney and Cliff.
Nah.
And it takes Gina a second, and you kind of see everything clicking. And she goes running after Nico, trying to call him back. She tries to call him on the phone. Phone call won't go through. She realizes what's happening.
Yes.
And so does Sydney, because she picks up the camera. She's like, oh shit, now she knows. She sees what she was watching. She's like, now she knows. So she goes chasing after Gina. Gina figures out, I guess, where they're going. And she finds, so she's going to go there. She can see it from where
she's at on the beach.
Yeah, so she goes running towards it, but the only way to get to it is to go up this cliff.
Yes.
Which is like a straight cliff. She makes really, really quick work of this cliff. I don't believe it.
I mean, the time is just... she's up there in no time.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. She gets up there in no time. Meantime, okay, Nico and Cliff are down there in this little marine cave. And he asks... Nico had said something earlier about shake that bush, right? Let me see you shake that bush. And Cliff's like, hey, what does shake that bush mean? And Nico says, what we've got here is failure to communicate, so that's obviously saying, hey, that's from Cool Hand Luke, right? You should know that. You're a screenwriter. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. He's a screenwriter. It doesn't mean, he's not, but if he was a screenwriter, does that mean I understand Cool Hand Luke is a movie he should have seen, but does that mean he's seen every movie and he knows every line? And
no, there's no way.
There's no way. He should know that, but anyway. Cliff then, I don't understand. So Nico has been drinking off this bottle of tequila the whole movie.
Yeah.
And he keeps looking at the worm.
Yeah.
He has this weird moment with the worm here. I don't understand what.
Yeah. Because he asks, do you think they kill it before they put it in the bottle?
Yeah. But, Cliff doesn't care. Cliff takes off these glasses he's been wearing. He takes them off and he breaks them. Basically, he breaks it to Nick that, like, I'm Nick now. I'm Nico now, right? And he shoots him. And he actually says to him, yeah, okay, so he breaks his glasses, and he's like, you were talking about your situational awareness. Your situational awareness actually kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and he says something about, he calls him Cliff again, and he's like, Cliff, call me Nick.
Yeah.
Nico. And, all right, I like this. They do this flashback here. So this flashback is basically, they're rewinding. They're showing us everything that we didn't see that happened right before the movie started. There's a few things I like about this.
Yeah.
I like, it's in black and white, but it's almost, it's still kind of got this dreamy quality on it.
Yeah.
So we're flashing back to, they flashback to Cliff and Sydney. Our Cliff and Sydney murdering the real Cliff and Sydney, pulling their teeth and everything. They get this camera which has the video or the wedding video on it, and we see them in their hotel room practicing the mannerisms, like watching the video over and over and practicing their mannerisms.
And shaving and everything to look more like them.
Yeah. And so we had found out earlier when we were reading the news stories that Nico and Gina and Cliff and Sydney were all on Oahu at the same time.
Yep.
And they kind of crossed paths. They were supposed to be on the same boat, but Cliff and Sydney missed the boat.
Yeah.
But Nick and Gina were in Oahu. Okay, Nick was looking, they were in this jewelry store. Nick was looking at sunglasses. Gina is looking at these rings, and she's telling the clerk, she's like, hey, he's going to come in here. I'm going to leave, and he's going to come in here. And can you tell him I was looking at this one, like pointing at the rings. And the lady's like, he doesn't look like he's going to come here. She's like, trust me, that's what he's going to do. He's going to walk away, we're going to go a little bit, and then he's going to pretend he's got to come back, do something else. He's going to come in here. And it's like, okay. So they go in, that's what happens. They start walking away. He's like, oop, forgot my drink, We see Cliff. He's got this, he does go back, and he's talking about he's planning a sunset proposal.
Yes.
But he's already got a ring, and he's showing her, the lady, he's like, what do you think? And she kind of looks at it, and you don't know what she thinks at first until you realize that he got it on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, it's nice. All that matters is that it's from you.
Yeah, I think she'll like it no matter what, because it's from you.
Yeah. So that's what his way of saying, yeah, this is a shitty ring. But, so... then we got Cliff. In the meantime, he's got his video camera. He tosses the tape, but not the memory card.
Yes.
Which was a choice. That might not make sense to anybody nowadays, that there was a tape in the video. But there was. So he tosses the tape and not the memory card, so everything that was on the tape, it was still there. And then we jump ahead, and Sydney and Cliff are on the beach, which we had seen them huddling together, and we see what they're actually doing. They're smoking meth.
Yes.
And this is where we learned that he's Rocky.
Yes.
They're doing this really good, it's really interesting. He's doing this kind of speech like where if I look away, like nothing's happening if I'm not looking at it. Like everything just freezes.
Yeah.
Everything just stops, right? And so he's like, his test of it is, hey, Sydney, so I'm going to look away. and you look over there and tell me, does everything just stop? You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you think whatever, like, we've already heard the story about the dog. We know what he's done with this murder and everything else. So it's like, what is he? Like, he just has no conception of anybody else being real.
Yeah.
The entire universe is wandering around him, right? And he's a meth head, so this is a terrible combination.
Yeah.
Right? Cut back, and we got Sydney. Okay, Sydney and Gina are fighting. Sydney tosses this axe at Gina, or Gina tosses this axe at Sydney. It misses Sydney, and it goes down into the sea cave, and it just misses Cliff.
Yeah.
Who ducks, because he's got great reflexes for a writer. So, meanwhile, Cliff has shot Nick. Yes. But, Nico. But this, so we have this amazing sequence here where Gina and Sydney are fighting. Sydney lands a punch, but it actually hits this rock.
Yeah.
And, so she had not been smoking meth, that would have been game over.
Yeah.
Hand broken, I'm done. But we do get this great moment where she's running at Gina, and it's like the camera pulls. She's running right at the camera. It is amazing.
Yeah, and they made her look like she was running so fast.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she manages to get this knife embedded in Gina's skin. She goes right off the edge of the cliff. Right?
Yeah.
You hear her hitting the water. So I like this when she's coming into the water, and you can kind of hear everything going on above the water.
Yeah.
As she's coming in. And then she comes in, and I don't know. It's just the sound design for when she hits the water is really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has managed to get this knife it's like under her skin. I mean, I'm sure it got to the meat of Gina's muscle, but it looks terrible. So she pulls it out, and she's bleeding, and it's terrible, and I hate it. In the meantime, she gets her phone rings, and it's your car's extended warranty.
I thought it was AT&T.
Was it? They want to know about the long distance plan. So she's like, hey, whatever this guy's name, this guy with his accent named Tony or whatever. She's like, Tony, I need you to help me out. And he's like, I'm not actually like Tony in Atlantic City. And she's like, I don't care.
I'm in Hawaii.
I'm in Hawaii. You need to help me. And she's talking to him through call the police and do. So we're gonna get this. While she's on the phone though, so she sees this kayak coming out from the marine cave, and it's Sydney. And she's like, okay. And she's kind of looking at it, and you're like, what are we making of this? And she's on the phone. All of a sudden, you can hear Sydney over a walkie-talkie. She's like, what the fuck? And here comes Cliff up over the side. And he's just shooting at her, just shoot, and grabbing her, and
she's ducking from all of them.
She's ducking. Gets a knife. He gets a knife through the hand. Knives through hands. I can't. So we flash back down to the marine cave. Nick is not dead. Nico is not dead because he's really hard to kill.
Yeah,
he's really hard to kill. That titanium plate.
Good old titanium. Saving him again.
Yeah, so the bullet nicked the titanium plate, gave him a nice little flap of skin in the back there.
Yeah.
Which he just kind of slaps back on and
puts the hat on.
Puts it under his hat and ties it up. Let's go. We get an amazing. I love this. There's a chase sequence. This is all action movie stuff, and I love it. This chase sequence of Gina. Cliff is chasing Gina, and Nico is chasing Cliff, and we're doing the speed racer. Let's flip between the frames, and it's awesome. I like it. But so they get down to the bottom of this cliff again, and this one that she had climbed up with the axe or whatever. And there's a bunch of people down there. There's a couple of guys down there. And she's like, hey, awesome! They're trying to fucking kill me, And Cliff gets down there, and he's like, oh my God, like, this crazy, look, this is my wife. I'm sorry. This is our honeymoon. She's got a meth problem. And she's like, no, he's trying to kill me. She's like, yeah, see, I've been dealing with this the whole time. He's like, he pulls out this little foil of meth. I've been finding these all the whole trip. This is terrible. And the guy's like, okay, the EMTs are like, hey, because they're EMTs. Yes. They felt like, hey, we're EMTs, you need help. Or like, he's like, no, I just, I don't want to get the police involved. It's all cool. I don't want to deal with whatever your mess is, but I do have a question. Like, her eyes are perfectly normal, but yours are like the size of dinner plates. Like, who's smoking the meth now? I love this part because
I do too.
Cliff's like, guys, it was a perfectly good story.
And then he shoots him. Yeah, I love that part too. Well, he's like, yeah, you didn't think they would know what your pupils are supposed to look like, did you?
Oh, man. But in the meantime, whoever Gina talked to about her extended warranty has managed to get a hold of the police. The helicopter is there, coming out to the island. Sydney flags them down, though. So Sydney gets on the helicopter. And meantime, Cliff, Nico drops off the side of the cliff, and the look on Cliff's face when he sees Nico.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
What the fuck? I killed you. Did not do a very thorough job, my man.
No, you did not. You're about to be fucked up too.
Well, he can't pick up the gun now because Gina basically severed his fingers from each other, so he can't grip anything. And so Nick's got him because he's got a knife to his throat and a gun under his chin.
Yep.
And he's like, what am I gonna do? And all right, so the helicopter's coming by. All right, and Nico is getting ready to kill Cliff, like, no doubt, right? And Sydney's like directing because the police sniper, the helicopter's like, who's the guy? Yeah. And Sydney's got him pointing at Nico. And he's getting ready to fire. And all of a sudden, Gina, from out of nowhere, jumps up in front of Nico.
Yes. And
Sydney comes back with, like, the one you want. Like, she's like, the one that fucked up my life is the one that's getting reached for that gun. And they shoot Rocky / Cliff, right?
Yep. Because he wanted to live, 100 lives or something?
Yeah, he was... he's obviously crazy when she first met him when they were younger, but, like, whatever, the meth did the rest of it, I guess. I guess she's going to prison. She's going to prison. Gina and Nico are getting married.
Yes. He asked her to marry him on the helicopter back. Yeah,
because it was sunset, so he actually did it for the sunset.
Yes.
Yeah, so this works. Again, this movie works on the same terms that The Descent works and The Ruins works, because it takes it uses its entire... It's one big unified whole. Yeah. It uses the idea of everybody being suspicious of each other. It drops clues throughout, but it lets everybody be suspicious of each other. It lets you as the viewer the first time around, obviously you know what happens after that, but the first time around, it lets you as the viewer be in the headspace of that where they are. They're on this trail that not many people go by. You get all the information. You understand it. You can see how isolated it is. You can see, like, if they're camping with the people that they have reason to suspect are these murderers, or other people that might be the murderers are kind of lurking around in the background every time they turn around. So it's very successful there of creating that sense of paranoia that everybody was probably laboring under. Yeah. Except for maybe Kale and Kale and Cleo, who just didn't seem to know what the fuck was going on. Yeah. So it works like that. When they do these, when they finally reveal what Sydney and Cliff really are, and we get this amazing flashback, and we get this amazing segment of Cliff giving his speech, or Rocky giving his speech about everything just stops when I look away. It's a great insight into the character's mindset. Yeah. Everything makes sense after that. There's other. It works. It works in a way. This is Again, you know, we're seeing something that's kind of like this. Feels kind of like a typical sort of action type movie of the time, but it works in a way that Teresa's falls short. You know, because it's cohesive. Everything, there's a singular vision. Everything works towards that. It's got Mila Jovovich. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of got like it's got the good feels in it from, you know, like things you don't catch on to the first time. So
yeah,
it works really well.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's good. I do love it. I've talked about this almost every time it's applicable. I love these types of movies where you watch it, there's a twist, and then you can go back and watch it and be like, yes, they were telling us the whole time what was happening. You can see every piece, you know.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a fun movie. Another one of those ones where, you know, if it comes on or I see pieces of it or whatever, I was looking forward. It'd been a while since I'd watched it. I was looking forward to watching it again for the podcast, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Knives Out. That's what I was thinking.
It is kind of like a Knives Out where it's kind of got that, it's kind of like I think it's a little darker than Knives Out.
There's a whole nother story behind the story, and you don't see it until you've actually figured it all out.
Except that this doesn't, you know, hold your hand through it like Knives Out does.
Yeah.
So this is the story is there. You don't know what the story is. I'm not going to get into like the finer points of things. I mean, and I'm sure somebody would argue with it, but I think as far as like being a kind of a tight ball of a movie that is satisfying in that way, I actually might like this better.
Yeah.
I think I do. I'm sure Knives Out people will be like, what? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying it's objectively a better piece of filmmaking. I'm saying it satisfies me in a fuller way than Knives Out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's clever on a few different levels. I like it's good cast. It's really good. It's a great cast.
Yes, it is.
So I liked it. I will give it. Okay, so I think I gave The Descent 5 stars, and I gave The Ruins like 4, and I gave Teresa's like 2.5. This is up there. I mean, I'm gonna say 4. Okay, 4.5. So this is like, again, where, you know, I talk about the movies in the context that we're talking about them, not in the grander scheme of movies. So, and that in that way, I'm going to give this 4.5 titanium plates out of 5.
Okay.
4.5 tequila worms out of 5.
Stop picking things. I need to pick something, and you keep going. I'm gonna give it. I mean, I know how many I'm gonna give it. I just don't know what I'm gonna give it.
Goat heads.
What?
Goat head.
Go ahead.
Goat
heads. Oh. 4 goat heads out of 5.
4 goat heads.
Yeah. They had some really good shots in it. I think some of the backstory stuff that they came around, that they rolled back to show us, was pretty clever. So yeah, I'd give it 4.
Okay. Good enough. I'll accept the 4. Okay. I think 4.5, but okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, 4.5's you, 4's me.
Okay. Well, that was a fun month. Even Teresa's not being that great was fun month.
Yeah.
Okay, so next month, starting for the month of July, Shark Month. We're gonna have Jaws, Megalodon, Sharknado. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can check out our other podcast, Deconstructing the Dark Passenger, the podcast about all things Dexter, talking about season 4. Check out the Final Assessment podcast about the show Evil. We're in season 3 right now. And drop us a line, follow us on our socials. All that information will be in our show notes. And while you're doing that, you can also check out our back catalog, almost a year of 3 to 4 to 5 movies a month. Plenty to listen to. Between all 3 of the podcasters, you will never run out of, I mean, you could eventually run out of things to listen to, but it would take a minute. So anyway, until next week, when we will be talking about the classic Jaws.
Later.
Later.